This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
So, recently, much like yourself, I've actually gotten out of broadcasting. I'm out of it right now.
Yeah.
Decided to step away just between the pandemic and other reasons. I guess for me, my question to you is, you have taken kind of a similar role where you stepped away from professional wrestling play-by-play,
Yeah.
being into that side, and now you're back into it with AEW.
Yeah.
What would you say to those, regardless of whether it's a play-by-play career or whatever type of career? Maybe it's a love that they've had, but that love's gone, but maybe they want to get back into it. What would your piece of advice be to someone who has stepped away from what they've loved doing, and maybe they're thinking about dipping their toe and getting back in to their career?
I think my advice would be the same advice I would give anybody in any type of career that you wanted to pursue, but especially in broadcasting. There's so many different facets of broadcasting that you get involved in without being in front of the camera. And that's one of the things that I did when I stepped away from wrestling that helped me in my career. Was I learned how to edit audio. I learned how to engineer audio. I learned how to run audio boards. I learned how to work with wireless equipment, work with microphones, and therefore it enabled me to become the producer of the Georgia Bulldogs football and basketball networks for all those years. Not everybody kept saying, "Oh, Tony, you're the broadcaster of the Georgia Bulldogs." I never was the broadcaster of the Georgia Bulldogs. That's a misnomer. I was on the Georgia broadcast team, and I did some interviews, and I did coaches interviews and things like that, but I didn't do the play-by-play. I was the guy who ran the audio board for the play-by-play guy and set up the broadcasts. So what I'm saying is that you need to be very, very versatile in broadcasting to be successful, I think. Some guys can go in and just make a living as an announcer, and that's good. JR didn't make a living as just an announcer. He made a living as an announcer, and he was head of talent relations with the WWE. And before that, when he worked with us in WCW, he was a producer. He and I formatted shows together. So don't go into broadcasting thinking that I just want to do one thing. I want to do play-by-play. You got to be able to do it all. You got to be valuable. One of my favorite quotes is, I'm not going to get it right, but it's from Albert Einstein. And he says, try not to be a man of substance, be a man of value. And that's what I've always tried to be, a valuable person in the company. Tony Khan loves, because he's like you guys, grew up in the 90s. And I'm very fortunate he was a fan of mine, real fortunate. And he feels that my value to the company is announcing, and I appreciate that. But I try to do a lot more backstage. And I get involved backstage in many different facets of the company that maybe most people would say, it's too busy, it's too crazy work. So, Lopez, that's the only thing I can tell you is don't go into broadcasting or any job saying, I just want to be a play-by-play guy. But you pigeonhole yourself, you're not going to get far.
Agreed. Thank you so much for the time.
No problem, man. Thank you.
For anyone who's not had the privilege and opportunity of seeing Tony hang out with all the young wrestlers nowadays, it is pretty cool. And Tony, I love that you get to raise up another group of wrestlers, put them over on TV, but tell them how to really do it backstage. It's so fun.
Yeah, Lauren, one of the things that I really enjoy is working with the young talent backstage and being a vital part of their career, because I'm saying almost all of them watch me. They're wrestling fans and watch me. And they get such a kick out of me hearing my voice on their matches. When I first met Bryan Danielson, he said, I can't wait to hear you call one of my matches. And I went, that's some fucking pressure there, dude. I hope you'll be happy with what you hear. So, I really like working with the kids. I really do.
I love Tony. He cares about the work that he does, and that is really great.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money, it's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.